Ile anya n'ihu gị, ile anya n'azụ gị, ile anya n'aka nri, ile anya n'aka ekpe, ị ga-ahụ ihe ga-eme ka ị jawa Chineke mma. Anya gị ga-ahụ ihe ga-eme ka ị jawa Chineke mma. Ndewonu. Ọwụ Olumbise na-ekwu ọzọ. I have another song for you, and I usually like to dissect this song because we can do so much with the vocabulary words in this song. A few of the ideas we discussed in the Odionye Yiriya video will show up here again, so it will be good review. And of course, we'll also cover many new ideas, so your knowledge of the Igbo language will continue to grow. Ngwa, can you bido? Alright, let's begin. Ihe niile, everything, in green are the verbs in this song. Le anya in the first 4 lines, and then in the last 2 lines we have gahu, geme, and jawamma. Le anya is one type of verb form. Gahu and geme are another type, and jawamma is a third type. We've talked about the ga verb form, where ga is a helping verb to another verb, and we use that as the future tense. Gahu and geme fall into this category. The other 2 types of verbs, leanya and jawamma, we haven't yet talked about, so you'll learn about them today. Let's start with leanya. Le anya means look. It comes from ileanya, to look. You can say, Adanne, leanya ba. Adanne, look here. Leanya, look. If we're talking about looking, we might as well talk about the other 5 senses. So here they are. Genti, listen, from igenti, to listen. Ebube, genti biko. Ebube, listen, please. De ono, taste, from ide ono, to taste. Ulunne, denri ahụ ọnụ. Ulunne, taste that food. Shie ushi, smell, from ishi ushi, to smell. Shie mmanya gị ushi, smell your drink. Finally, kpa aka, touch, from ịkpa aka, to touch. Kpa ya aka, ọ jụrụ oyi. Touch it, is it cold? Ya wụrụ na ịma Igbo ntakịrị. If you know a little bit of Igbo, you may have noticed that the body parts for taking some of these actions, leanya, gente, deono, and maka, are included here in the verbs. Shioshi is not part of that, it's an exception. Here are those body parts. Anya, eye, nti, ear. Ono is mouth. Since we really taste with our tongues and not our mouths, I also included ire, which means tongue. Imi, nose. Imi is not in the verb, but I included it just for the sake of having a complete list. And then finally, aka, hand. I'm not quite sure if there's a technical name for this arrangement of having the body parts included in these verbs, but I just wanted to bring it up because it's an interesting thing to note. Even though the body parts are mentioned, we would not translate these as look eyes, listen ears, taste mouth, or touch hand. We wouldn't translate them that literally. In Igbo, they simply mean look, listen, taste, smell, and touch. Leanya, genti, deono, shioshi, and maka are commands. You can see that you can use them to tell someone to do something, so I've colored them in green. Commands that we use to tell someone to do something are called affirmative commands. If you can command someone to do something, you can also command them not to do something. Commands that we use to tell someone not to do something are called negative commands, and I've colored them in red. Let's see what they are. Elelanya, don't look. Egelente, don't listen. Edelono, don't taste. Ishinushi, don't smell, and akbalaka, don't touch. Ka anyị kwuo ha ọzọ. Let's say them again. Lee anya, gee ntị, dee ọnụ, shie nshi, gbaa aka. Elela anya, egele ntị, edela ọnụ, eshila ushi, akpala aka. Ngwa, ka anyị na-aga. Alright, let's keep going. We'll get to the verbs in the last 2 lines, but before we do, I'm sure that now you know that leanya means look. You may be wondering, look at what, or look at who, or look where. The words that come right after leanya in the first 4 lines of the song give directions for where to look. N'ihu, n'azụ, n'aka nri, n'aka ekpe. Let's see what those places are. N'ihu, to the front. N'azụ, to the back. N'aka nri, to the right. N'aka ekpe, to the left. These phrases come from the combination of na and a word showing a certain position or location. In Igbo, na is a multi-purpose word, but here we're using it as a preposition. When we combine na with a position or location, it can mean at, in, to, through, or from that position or location. We can use na to talk about time and space relationships. So nihu, nazu, and the rest of these are talking about location in a certain space. If we use na to say something like n'ụtụtụ, in the morning, or n'abalị, at night, then those would be discussion of time. Because na ends in a vowel, a, and the first letter in these location words after na is also a vowel, the a gets dropped from na, and we put an apostrophe in its place. So na ihu becomes n'ihu, na azụ, n'azụ, na aka nri, n'aka nri, na aka ekpe, n'aka ekpe. And of course, there are other locations that we can pair with na, so here are a few more to add to your vocabulary. N'elu, to the top. N'ala, to the ground. N'okpuru, underneath. N'etiti, to the middle. One way that you can use these words in everyday conversations is to give someone directions to a certain location or through a certain location. To give directions is inye ntụziaka. For this, we use the verbs ije or ịga, which mean to go. From ije, we get je, and from ịga, we get ga. Je and ga both mean go. So we can say je n'ihu or ga n'ihu, je n'azụ, ga n'azụ, je n'aka nri, ga n'aka nri, je n'aka ekpe, ga n'aka ekpe, je n'elu, ga n'elu, je n'ala, ga n'ala, je n'okpuru, ga n'okpuru, and finally, je n'etiti or ga n'etiti. You can also tell someone not to go to these places or not to go through these places, and for that, we use ejele and agala, which both mean don't go. So we can also say ejele n'ihu, agala n'ihu, ejele n'azụ, agala n'azụ, ejele n'aka nri, agala n'aka nri, ejele n'aka ekpe, agala n'aka ekpe, ejele n'elu, agala n'elu, ejele n'ala, agala n'ala, ejele n'okpuru, agala n'okpuru, ejele n'etiti, agala n'etiti. Alright, enough with directions and commands. Let's see what's next. We now know that lee anya n'ihu, lee anya n'azụ, lee anya n'aka nri, and lee anya n'aka ekpe are given directions to look in certain places. But who is being told to look, and to whose front and back will they look? The words in red at the beginning and end of the sentence can help us answer these questions. If you think back to what we talked about in the last video, in the Odionye Uria video, you may recognize these words as being pronouns. Do you remember which pronouns they are? Let's review. Let's use the first line of the song. Ile anya n'ihu gị. From the last time, we learned that E and A are the subject pronoun you. Then at the end of the sentence, we have ge. Gi is the object pronoun you, and it's also the possessive pronoun your. In this sentence, it's acting as a possessive pronoun. Ihu gi, your front. Ile anya n'ihu gi, you look to your front. Using all the other pronouns, let's see how the sentence will sound. Mle anya n'ihu m, or mle anya n'ihu m, if I look to my front. Ole anya n'ihu ya, he looks to his front, she looks to her front, it looks to its front. Anyị le anya n'ihu anyị, we look to our front. Unu le anya n'ihu unu, you all look to your front. And ha le anya n'ihu ha, they look to their front. You can even mix and match these pronouns to say something like mle anya n'ihu unu or ha le anya n'ihu ya. And of course, instead of just using nihu as we've done here, you can also use nazo, n'aka nri, n'aka ekpe, n'elu, n'ala, n'okpuru, and n'etiti to practice these sentences too. The possibilities are endless. So here's what we have so far. Ile anya n'ihu gị, ile anya n'azụ gị, ile anya n'aka nri, ile anya n'aka ekpe. After you do all these things, what will happen? We're now going to dig into the last two lines to find out. Let's look at just the verbs first. And for that, we'll use the map of a basic Igbo sentence that we saw last time. Ga ahụ comes from ihu, to see. Ihu ihe, to see something. Ihu mmadụ, to see someone. Ihu ihe maọbụ ihu mmadụ ahụ, to see something or to see someone indeed. Ihu ihe maọbụ ihu mmadụ korokoro, to see something or to see someone clearly. Ihu ihe maọbụ ihu mmadụ ọfụma, to see something or to see someone well. Ga-eme comes from ime, to do. Ime ihe, to do something. Ime mmadụ. Here, we're using it to say to cause someone, as in to cause someone to do something. Ime ihe eme, to do something indeed. Ime ihe katakata, to do something haphazardly or in a disorganized way. Ime ihe ọsịsọ, to do something quickly. And finally, jawamma comes from ijamma, to extend goodness or to ascribe goodness. You can also translate this to mean to praise. Ijamma aja, to ascribe goodness indeed, to praise indeed. We get gahu by changing iga to ga, and then using the participle from the main verb ihu, which is ahu, and gahu means we'll see. We get game by changing iga to ga again, and then using the participle form of the main verb ime, which is eme, and game means will do. Remember from last time, this is how we change verbs into the ga verb form to talk about the future. Now let's look at the last verb, jawamma. Ijamma is to praise. Ijawamma is to begin to praise. The wa suffix on an action verb is used to talk about beginning to do something. Wa is used for verbs ending in vowels of the a group. So any verbs ending in a, o. For verbs ending in vowels of the e group, so any verbs ending in e, I, o, u, we use we as a suffix. So to give you an example with the verbs that we have here, ihu is to see. Ihunwa is to begin to see. Ime is to do. Imewe is to begin to do. So in the song, we're using the wa suffix to say jawamma, to begin to praise. Let's move on now and break down the rest of the sentences. Ị ga-ahụ ihe ga-eme ka ị jawa Chineke mma. Anya gị ga-ahụ ihe ga-eme ka ị jawa Chineke mma. We'll put these words into the table. Here's the table again. We'll use the whole table this time, so let's look at the table headings more closely. The subject in a sentence can be a noun or pronoun. To keep the table simple, I'll keep any adjective that describes a noun or pronoun under the same column with that noun or pronoun. The verb may or may not start with an auxiliary verb, which is also a helping verb, but there's always a main verb. The indirect object can be a noun or pronoun and answers the question for whom or for what or to whom or to what. It may be followed by an adjective, and next, the direct object can also be a noun or pronoun and answers the question who or what. Again, it may be followed by an adjective, they'll stay together. Finally, the adverb describes or modifies the verb. We learned that Igbo adverbs may be a participle of the main verb, an ideophone like koro koro or bonkwem, or an adverbial noun. Let's start filling in the table. E is the subject pronoun you. Gahu, will see, is a helping verb and the main verb. Igahu gini, you will see what? Igahu ihe, you will see something. Ihe answers the question what, so it's a direct object. The sentence continues on where that same ihe that you see will cause something. Geme, something. So we have Igahu ihe geme, you will see something that will cause blah blah blah. There's that word, ka. We'll skip it for now and come back to it after filling in the rest of the sentences. E again is you, so a pronoun. Jawa, a main verb with no helping verb. Jawa, gini, begin ascribing what? Jawa, mma, begin ascribing goodness. Mma is the direct object. I didn't forget Chineke. Jawa onye mma, begin ascribing goodness to whom? Jawa Chineke mma, begin ascribing goodness to God. Chineke is the indirect object. It answers the question to whom. If we continue to ignore ka, right now the sentence says, Ị ga-ahụ ihe ga-eme, ị jawa Chineke mma. You will see something that will cause you begin to praise God. Let's talk about ka. Just like na, ka is another multi-purpose word in Igbo. We're using it here to join two parts of the sentence, two clauses of the sentence, and it's the equivalent of so that. Something happens so that something else happens. It's a conjunction, and there's no column in the table for a conjunction because it can appear in so many different parts of a sentence. So I've put ka outside the table, right in front of the clause that it starts. Ka ị jawa Chineke mma, so that you begin to praise God. Ị ga-ahụ ihe ga-eme ka ị jawa Chineke mma roughly translates to, you will see something that will cause that you begin ascribing goodness to God, that you begin to praise God. The last sentence in the song is exactly like the one before it, except that instead of ị ga-ahụ, you will see, we have Anya gị ga-ahụ, your eyes will see. Anya, a noun, and gi, a possessive pronoun which is like an adjective, so they're staying together. And then the rest of the sentence is the same. Ga-ahụ ihe ga-eme ka ị jawa Chineke mma. Ị ga-ahụ ihe ga-eme ka ị jawa Chineke mma. Anya gị ga-ahụ ihe ga-eme ka ị jawa Chineke mma. And that, folks, is the end of the song. There's one last note that I want to make about the verbs. Remember these? Ile, le, elele. Anya doesn't always have to follow after them, so I didn't include it this time. Ile, le, elele. To look. Look. Don't look. Now, remember this? Ihu from igahu. Anya gị ga-ahụ. Ihu is to see. Like ile, ihu also has to do with sight. In English, you can tell that there's a difference between looking and seeing. Igbo has that difference too. Ile, to look. Ihu, to see. Ile TV, to look at or watch TV versus Ihu TV, to see a TV, maybe while you're shopping or something. You can also tell that there's a difference between listening and hearing. So here's another set of verbs for you. Ile is to Ihu as ige is to ino. Ige, to listen. Ino, to hear. Ige radio, to listen to the radio versus ino mkpọtụ, to hear noise. Alright, let's move on to dialects and gịnị nọ n'aha. Now let's talk about dialects. Igbo is so diverse, so much so that the few changes in the song that I'm going to show you are only a tiny sample of the possibilities that can exist. As much as we are one people in our shared Igbo identity, there's still such a richness and such diversity among Igbo people and that includes our language as well. First, here's the original song as we've been singing. Ile anya n'ihu gị, ile anya n'azụ gị, ile anya n'aka nri, ile anya n'aka ekpe, ị ga-ahụ ihe ga-eme ka ị jawa Chineke mma. Anya gị ga-ahụ ihe ga-eme ka ị jawa Chineke mma. Then, instead of wa, the suffix that can be added to a verb to mean beginning to, you may also hear ma. So jawa could be jama. In this version, I'm also showing you that some people may say akekpa for left instead of akekpe. So here's how it sounds. Ile anya n'ihu gị, ile anya n'azụ gị, ile anya n'aka nri, ile anya n'aka ekpe, ị ga-ahụ ihe ga-eme ka ị jama Chineke mma. Anya gị ga-ahụ ihe ga-eme ka ị jama Chineke mma. Now, the final version I'm going to show you has so many more changes. Leanya may also be neanya. Nihu may also be niru. N'aka nri can be n'aka nni. Ga-ahụ ihe can be ga-afụ ife. And jawamma would be jabamma. And here's how that would sound. Ịnanya n'iru gị, ịnanya n'azụ gị, ịnanya n'aka nni, ịnanya n'aka ekpe, ị ga-afụ ife ga-eme ka ị jaba Chineke mma. Anya gị ga-afụ ife ga-eme ka ị jaba Chineke mma. Alright, the diversity in Igbo language is incredible. You should ask your family and your friends how you say some of these words in your hometown. Gịnị nọ n'aha? What's in a name? Last time we talked about the meaning of Onyedikachi. Today I have two different names to show you. Ihuoma na Ihunanya. Ihuoma and Ihunanya. Have you heard these names before? Which parts of these names do you recognize from our song today? Here's a hint. Here they are again with those parts highlighted. Could you tell that there was a difference in the IHU in the two names? In Ihuoma, it's I-Hi-U. I-Hi-U. And in Ihunanya, it's I-Hi-O. I-Hi-O. What's the difference between Ihu and Ihu? Think back to everything we've just talked about. The Ihu in Ihuoma we discussed as meaning front. It's also a noun that means face. And Oma is an adjective that means good. So literally, Ihuoma means good face or good front, but symbolically it means good outlook, good fortune, good destiny, good future. Ihuoma. What about Ihunanya? While the Ihu in Ihuoma is a noun, this Ihu in Ihunanya is the verb that means to see. Remember when we sang Igahu, Anya Gahu, Gahu will see. You can also see that Anya is in the name. Na Anya. Nanya could mean in the eyes, through the eyes, from the eyes, and so on. The word Ihunanya means love. Ihu mmadụ n'anya means to love someone. Ihu ihe n'anya means to love something. To get philosophical, you can think of the expression of love as seeing the true essence of a person or sensing and acknowledging that person's existence. And it reminds me of the 2009 Avatar movie where Jake tells Neytiri, I see you, and Neytiri tells Jake, I see you. It's an intimate moment between the two characters that they may have as well been telling each other, I love you. But I digress. To tell someone you love them, you can say, Ahụrụ m gị n'anya or Afụrụ m gị n'anya. And then, as we saw in the alternate versions of the song, Ihu may also be Iru, and Ihu may also be Ifo. So you may hear the names Ihuoma and Ihunanya as Iruoma and Ifunanya. Ngwano ogwala. Alright guys, it's finished. So let's review what we did today. We learned the nouns Anya, Nti, Onu, Ire, Imi, and Aka. We reviewed subject and possessive pronouns. We learned about the combination of na with some location or position words to get n'ihu, n'azụ, n'aka nri, n'aka ekpe, n'elu, n'ala, n'okpuru, and n'etiti. We added some new verbs to our vocabulary. Ile anya, ige ntị, ide ọnụ, ishi ushi, ịkpọ aka, ịhụ ihe, ime ihe, ịja mma. We saw a few ways to change those verbs by turning them into commands to tell someone what to do. Le anya, gee ntị, dee ọnụ, shie ushi, kpọọ aka, and what not to do. Elele anya, egele ntị, edela ọnụ, eshila ushi, akpala aka. We also saw how to change the verbs by reviewing ga as a helping verb to talk about the future. And finally, by adding the suffixes wa and we to action verbs to mean the beginning of an action. As usual, we looked at dialect differences and we ended by discussing the meaning of the names Ihuoma or Ihuoma and Ihunanya or Ifunanya. Until next time, Mbozo.